Hi everyone, it is time for a new reading vlog, and this is going to be my first, hopefully not last, Clear Your Shit Readathon reading vlog, which is a readathon that's been hosted by Mouse and Art for quite a few years now. I feel like I think this is like the fourth one, and I always flop at vlogging slash participating. Like, I always try to participate and like technically I think I do because like I keep reading, but like I never manage to make the vlogs that I would like. So I hope that I will make at least one more vlog after this, but either way, we're doing this right now. It is a 2-month-long readathon that's basically happening November, December. They do this every single year. Again, I think this is like the third year maybe, and I always want to participate, but then I always put too much on my plate at the end of every single year. And I'm actually filming this right now on November 5th, and so I think that maybe if I start now, I'll actually, do this, and then hopefully maybe at least next month I'll do another one. It is basically all about clearing your shelves before the new year begins. There's a goal to not buy any more books before the end of the year and to just like clear your physical TBR, or not necessarily just physical TBR, ebooks, audiobooks, anything, And there's obviously like prompts along the way, and there's this super cool, fun storyline that they post on Twitter as well, so I'm gonna link their Twitter down below. I don't know if it has Instagram. I do kind of right now want to prioritize my physical TBR because like I did get a lot better this year at reading physically, and I did really just like fall in love with it, and I don't know, like I no longer feel the pressure that I used to, and I just feel like excitement, and I just love it so much. And the past few weeks, however, I haven't really been able to read physically, and so I'll get into that in a second. But first, I'm just gonna find the prompts, and there is like a full list of prompts, but they're also kind of like released along the way, and I never fully figured out how that works. The first prompt is read a book with 2 main characters, and for a second I was like, hold on, like what does that mean? And then I realized I can just read a romance, and so I think what I'm gonna read for this, and a book that I'm just dying to read and I want to read first before anything else, is Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. I might have bought this on like November 2nd, but I knew that I would read it immediately. Like, this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. I adore Ashley Herring Blake. I love this series, and I know that this is just a book that like I want to dive into immediately, and like once I do, I'm just gonna fly through it. Like, I know that for sure. The next prompt is let someone choose between 2 books for you. So I will have to do that later. I think my roommate is not here right now, but I could ask her tomorrow night. So I don't know what books that could be. So we'll see when I, am conflicted between 2 books. And then I have read a fantasy book or a book with fantasy-like aspects. Okay. I actually do have the perfect thing for that, because like I've been also wanting to finish this for a million years. So I have a few books that I've basically started and I put them down and I haven't been able to get back to them. So I do this quite often, and it's not DNFing. It is very often with books I know I'm gonna love. I just like either get distracted by other things, or I'm not in the right mood and I feel like I should wait for a better time, or whatever the fuck it might be. It happens way too often, and that is one goal that I do want to start working on in this video. Finishing the books that I started, especially the ones that I know I'm gonna love, and this is one of them. So that is A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. I still remember the beginning very vividly, and I read 40 pages, and so I need to get back to this. I feel like I'm really gonna love this. It's a standalone fantasy. I've been desperately trying to get back to fantasy, and there's like this mythical hunt, and they see this like magical fox, and it's like 2 people, they're strangers, and they meet kind of because of this, and they're gonna team up, and yeah. The beginning, like their first interactions were so funny. I absolutely want to read this, and honestly, like I just need to do that right this second. So then there's, I think, 3 more. So the next one is read a lightweight book and hope it keeps your footsteps quiet. So lightweight book, I guess, would be, maybe like the lightest, the shortest book that I have on my TBR, which I will have to think about. I don't know. That could be an ebook because I do have more of those, but Usually if I have it physically and it's a short book, I read it immediately. So then there is read a book with multiple perspectives and then just a free space. So that can be, you know, any book whatsoever. So multiple perspectives. I mean, I already mentioned the 2 points of view in this one. I guess it could be good to have like even more perspectives than that, but I don't think, I don't know, I'll look into that, but it makes me think of another book that I have here that I desperately want to read and finish, and that is the next new Syrian Girl by Reem Shakairi, and this is a book that does have a dual point of view, but it's not a romance. It does have some romance in it, but it is about 2 girls, and they're both like the main characters with a point of view, and it is an incredible book that I read 154 pages of, and then I also had to put it down, and I still, like, it was an incredibly raw and emotional story. I felt so connected to the main characters, and like I absolutely will love this book. I just need to pick it up, and I feel like right now is the perfect time to do that. So I will, this is also very high on the priority list, and even if I read another book for that prompt specifically, I will be reading this. I do need to stop talking because my camera is gonna die, but I do have 2 more books that I have started and have not finished, because apparently I do that way too much. I have gotten like unhinged when it comes to this. So one is The Good Girl by Nikki Sloan, very different from all the others. So this is like a forbidden, sort of taboo, slightly steamy romance. It's not really that taboo, like it's just kind of has the like good girl bad boy trope, whatever, and I like this trope when it's done well, and unfortunately I was so excited for this. I thought that Nikki Sloan would write this super well, but I unfortunately did not love it as much as I hoped. However, I still do want to finish it because I did already read 142 pages. So I was like invested enough to want to keep reading. Like I know that I could DNF, but I don't want to. But yeah, so hopefully I'll finish that. And then I started rereading Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, which I started procrastinating on for a whole different reason, which was that I don't want it to be over, which is like so stupid because like I can literally reread it again. But this is my first reread, and like Hi everyone, so I hope this lighting's okay. I am here with a package, but before you say anything, I did actually order this at the beginning of October. It just took like 3 weeks to arrive and I couldn't pick it up, and then I was on a holiday for 2 weeks. It also means that I don't really remember what I bought. I'll explain when I open it, but I do know what book I got, but I also got some little bookish things. Okay, so I think first we're gonna take out the book, which is in this little thing, and then I'm gonna look at the little things. So it is from the shop Words and Kisses that I have talked about before. I don't know if you saw that, but it is a little romance web shop, but unfortunately it has now closed, and this was like the final 50% off sale, and so I got a few little things, and I'm really sad because it was a wonderful shop and I got some amazing books from there, but I'm happy that I could make this order. And so the book in here, oh wait, it has the things inside it. The book is a lot shorter than I remembered, or I actually have not seen the physical copy, but it is Bad at Love by Gabriela Martins, and it is insanely floppy, and it's actually one of my favorite books, and I read either the e-arc or just an ebook of it, and I think that was maybe like a year and a half ago, or even like, yeah, I think around that time, whatever. And I have had my eye on it on the store for a while, and I wanted to make a bigger order, but there weren't really other things that I wanted at that time, and then it just like, I had to get it when I could. And I adore this book. I adore this author. I hope that she's gonna have a new book coming soon. But this is one of my favorite YA contemporary books. It basically has like fake dating, and this was just like such an incredible, sweet, wonderful romance. And I also adore this cover. Like, it is so unique. It reminds me of like 2000s rom-coms. And not enough people have read this book, and you need to pick it up. So I would love to reread it sometime. I think I might save that for next year, like maybe spring or whatever, but I had to show that to you. I have this little, oh yeah, it's like a postcard set, and it's like Pride and Prejudice themed. And I'm not specifically like a Pride and Prejudice stan, but obviously it is like a classic romance, and so that's why I like it. And I don't have a personal connection to it, but I still like it, if that makes sense. And I just really wanted to buy as many things as I could to just like support the store one more time, and because I just love bookish merch and shit like that. So the first one that I have on the front looks like that, and it's just this nice flower and a quote that says, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." So how iconic is that? So also, just to be clear, I also wanted this because I've been wanting to buy postcard art on Redbubble to put up on my wall somewhere, because like basically they have like the photography prints and shit like that, but the postcards, when you buy that, it's like the cheapest version, but obviously if you just see it from the front, it's just an art print. And it also is a postcard, but it's an art print. So that's why I wanted it to, you know, for that purpose. Or I can also just use it as like bookmarks and shit like that. And so this is the other one. And this one says, "Perhaps after all, romance did not come into one's life with pomp and blare. Perhaps it crept to one's side like an old friend through quiet ways." That is a beautiful quote. Love that. You know, I actually have not ever read Pride and Prejudice. And basically my sister and one of my friends love Pride and Prejudice, and they have like mentioned, you know, like you should read it. And I feel like as a romance author and reader, I need to read it, but I will one day. This is the next one. We also have flowers, and the quote is, "If I loved you less, I might be able to talk about it more." Oh my god, I can't believe I have this quote. I literally bring this shit up all the time. I've used this quote like thousands of times. Not actually, but this is like one of my favorite quotes ever, and I have not read the source material, but wow, okay, I'm so happy about that. Oh wait, I just realized I am a dumbass. It is not all Jane Austen. So this first one was Jane Austen, and this one was L.M. Montgomery, and then this one was Jane Austen again, but then this next one here is Jane Eyre, and so it looks like that. Absolutely love that. And the quote is, "Every atom of your flesh is as dear to me as my own." These are, oh my gosh, okay, I love that even more, the fact that it's just like all kinds of romance quotes from different authors. Love that. Then this one here, it says it's from Little Women, and it says, "Love is a great beautifier." Absolutely stunning. Now we have our last one here that says, "If I had a flower for every time I thought of you, I could walk through my garden forever." Oh my gosh, are you serious? I love that so much. That is an absolutely incredible quote, and it says that it's from Alfred Lord Tennyson. I've never heard of that. That is absolutely iconic. So obsessed with that, and we're not even done. So another thing that I have here are these little pins. So I at first wasn't sure if I should get it, but I do remember they sold out of another thing that I wanted, and this was like super cheap. This was like £2 or something, and I was like, I need it, even if it's just like, you know, I use it for pictures or I put it on my shelf, not necessarily on like a bag, because I don't really wear bags that I could put pins on, even clothes. So yeah, but it's just like all kinds of little romance thingies. I could, but I'd rather swoon. Then we have read more romance. Romance people are the best people. Romance reader. Eat, sleep, swoon. Friends to lovers fan club. Absolutely love it. Okay. So I think we have one more bigger thing inside here. Oh my god, I just remembered what this is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Last but by no means least, honestly, this, like, okay, I don't want to say it's the most exciting, but it is extremely exciting. So I didn't expect, I was so confused because of the way it's packaged, but I need to be a little careful because these are 3 little candles that, it wasn't actually a set, like I had to buy them separately, but I had to buy all of them and you'll know why in a second. So, okay, this is the first one. Ooh, it has a cute little ribbon. So this is the first one. It is for Anna and Kwan, and it's from the Heart Principle. Okay, wait, it's the wrong order. So it is from the Helen Huang series. I don't actually remember the name of the series, but it is all of it is for like the different couples. So we have Michael and Stella, and then we have Esme and Kai. And then there is Anna and Kwan. So I'm obsessed. I'm obviously gonna open it. And they do also have quotes on them. And I can already smell it before I even opened it. So, oh my gosh, it has glitter inside. That is the way to my heart. Okay, so that is the first one. Gorgeous. And the quote is, "All the things that make you different make you perfect." My heart. And if you saw one of my, I don't know, I think it was like a random vlog, like quite recent, I don't know, whatever. I got a Afterlight / Illumicrate Helen Huang special edition set. And so the fact that I have these special books and these candles is just like makes me so happy. It is one of my favorite series, and it actually reminds me I still have been procrastinating on reading the last book, and so we need to do that as soon as possible. Maybe not here, but honestly, like, it should be as soon as possible. So this next one is this gold one, and I actually literally forgot to like properly smell the first one. Oh my god, I love that. I love that. It's like vanilla-y, but like there's something special in it. I'm absolutely terrible at recognizing scents, I feel like, but the quote in here is, "Everyone deserved to love and be loved back. Everyone. Even her." Oh my god, not this like going straight for my heart, like fuck, like okay. Oh, also, I forgot to say that yesterday the camera cut off, of course, and I mean, I didn't really finish telling you what I was telling you, but I basically did. So I didn't do like an update afterwards. Okay, I'm not managing to open this one. I'm just gonna try later and I'll show it to you. But the quote on this one is, "The only good thing this broken heart of mine can feel is love for you." Absolutely love that. Before I go, I do want to, I think, I told you that I wanted to read the Ashley Herring Blake book first, but I actually think that what I need is to finish Get a Life Chloe Brown. I have had quite a rough day, and I feel like that is just gonna heal me. So we're gonna do that. I do also want to just watch some random shows and whatever, but we're gonna do some reading, and I will see you when that happens. Hello everyone. So I hope this angle is okay, but I have the most exciting news, which is that this just arrived today. And I didn't unbox it because I was just very excited, and on camera obviously. And I didn't know what it would look like, if it would be just, you know, in parts or whatever, but it actually is like a foldable one. And so it actually came like that, like not like this, but it was all like already together. The only thing I need to still put on is the wheels, which I tried, and it didn't have a guide, and I hate looking at guides anyways, but I couldn't figure it out fully on my own, so I'll ask my roommate. She's usually smarter at shit like this, so whatever. But I have wanted a TBR cart for years, and I like constantly thought about it for the past year at least, and like I was just like, you know, I thankfully got an apartment that already had shelves built inside the wall, but if you've seen that, you know, it is overflowing, and I literally had piles outside of the bookshelves because like I could have fit a little bit more on the shelves, but it would not be pretty anymore, and I wanted a space to make it pretty and space for new books, which we're gonna try not to buy before the end of the year, but I have it here now. I don't know, I have the beanbag, and I think that I want to keep it here, just like maybe slightly, we'll see, whatever. We have some of the books that I told you about, so I took those and I'm gonna put them on there. I also think that it's perfect for me to have the beanbag next to this because my goal is to read next to it, and so that I can like, you know, take off the books because I always like take off books from the main shelf and I like put them on my bed or my nightstand or whatever. And it is kind of annoying, you know, like my roommate also gets annoyed that I have books everywhere, and I feel like this is going to help me kind of keep that in check. So we have this, and I don't know how I'm going to organize it. I think for now I'm just going to put it on there and then we'll see, because like my main shelf is kind of rainbow, like based on colors, but also like genres and whatever. It's not like a rainbow shelf, but sort of. So I really do like color schemes, so.
If I'm overthinking, I'm really trying, so I should stop it. So hard on myself, it's true. Pick apart the things I do.
I do also feel kind of like I'm not sure how to fully do this, because I do think like two normal paperbacks could fit actually like behind each other. So you can't really see it, but there is a gap behind it. But I think we'll, again, figure it out. I do think like I do want to put some like decorations on there.
Been in hiding, backsliding, keep rewinding, pulling the thread through the loop.
So that is what I have. I actually just have one more book in my piles, which is this beautiful one. But I don't know, since it's, you know, a tiny mass market paperback, I just wasn't sure what spot I should put it in. Whatever. So, yeah, that's okay. So these are kind of like the main ones that I saw at first glance, and I didn't want to take books off the main shelves yet because I do have some books that I do want to read soon. So this is a great start. I love it so much. So again, you know, I'm gonna change it a little bit more. I'm gonna, you know, make it a little bit nicer and fill it up on the bottom as well. And I'm not sure if I have extra fairy lights. We'll figure that out, but either way, this is what we're working with, and I'm obsessed with it. So my food, my lunch, probably just finished baking, so I will go. But I do, again, I'm getting my nails done, and then I want to go to the bookstore, coffee shop, and I'm gonna be reading Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I'm gonna be writing a little bit. I don't think I've said it, I definitely have not said it in this video, that I'm actually participating in NaNoWriMo, and I don't know how long any of you have been with me. I used to do writing vlogs, and I have not been doing that because I have also been struggling with writing. And since I published my first adult romance, Dare to Live, Dare to Love, I wrote after not writing for a long time, and then since then I once again I was not able to write for a while, and I'm so happy to tell you I am writing again. I'm writing a new book that at first I was like, this is not the smartest decision, but I just needed to follow my heart. And I have written more in the past like month than I had in the past 2 years, or at least like a year and a half. So I am so happy. I'm so proud of myself. And so I will also be writing at the coffee shop, but I do really want to get further into Get a Life Chloe Brown. And I do desperately want to start Iris Kelly today. So, well, I will shut up now and I will see you when I have some updates. And I was so happy I have this, so I'll talk to you later today. It is a little while later. It is still the same day. It's also the same spot, obviously, but it is a different angle. And I am here for some updates. Also, let's pretend that trash down there is not there. I am so happy. First of all, I put on fairy lights, and I fixed it up a little bit. I moved it a little bit further back because it did fall earlier, and yeah, my roommate is gonna come back in a little while. Obviously the wheels are supposed to be on, and I went to the bookstore and I told myself, you know, I wouldn't buy anything. Let's just say that was not the case, but I have a good explanation. So the book that I bought is called If You'll Have Me by Uni. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but it is a graphic novel, and it is like a sapphic romance, I'm pretty sure. And I saw this a while ago and I really wanted it, and I was just like, I really wanted it, and I didn't buy it. And it also has sprayed edges, and it looks so cute. And here's the thing, I was looking at my stats because I'm, you know, starting to think about like the end of the year and whatever. And I have read like under 10 graphic novels this year. And I need to put my shit together and read more. And one problem, like, there's two things. I haven't heard about that many, and I also, like, the ones that I heard of were really expensive to buy, and I haven't been able to, but this is like a decent price. And the thing is, the reasoning actually also is, I'm gonna read this immediately. Like, I was so excited to just like sit down here and read this. And I have a general rule that I try to have at all times. I don't always stick to it, but it is that if I'm gonna read it immediately, it is absolutely worth buying. And, you know, it's not that like books that I'm not gonna read immediately are never worth buying, you know, like I try. The thing is, the bookstores here, sometimes they run out of stock of the things that I want, you know? And so like sometimes it is good to buy it before immediately reading it, but obviously the fact that I'm so excited made it clear that we're gonna buy it. So I have it. I'm so happy. It just feels so nice to just like hold it in my hand, and like I just know it's gonna be the best time ever. I've only been able to read it like as an ebook usually, and so this is just like unmatched. So that is the plan for tonight, along with, like I told you, get a light Chloe Brown. I read up to page 168, and oh my god, like I obviously talked about this in a different video. I would say I've talked about this book many times, but I actually like don't remember the last time that I talked about it before starting the reread, because like I read this when it first came out, which at this point honestly I think it was like 2019 or something like that, which is like unbelievable. Yeah, 2019. And so I can't believe I haven't reread it since. Like, it's because, like, I used to be really bad at rereading because I was just like, I should be reading new books. But then I discovered the pleasure of rereading favorite books, and I absolutely want to do that more in the new year. And we're, you know, getting started now, and I could not be happier. Because, like, I know, to be clear, Talia Hibbert is my #1 favorite author. I do always say, like, I talk about one of my favorite authors and whatever, and, like, obviously all my favorite authors are like super, super high, and it is a little bit painful. Like, all of them, you know, have something special, and I adore all of them, and like I would die for them, like, you know. But if I had to choose, it would be Talia Hibbert, like just a touch above there, you know, and like it's just like unmatched. And the one thing I always forget about is how fucking funny Talia's books are. Like, this is hilarious. Like, something that doesn't happen to me that often anymore, or like in general, not even anymore, is that like I am very good at pretending to be fine when I'm not, in like no matter what the context is. And when it comes to like reading, you know, like exciting, funny scenes or something steamy or something cute or whatever, like I have a mastered poker face in public. But this, I was grinning completely, like so hard. I was losing my shit. Like, I could not hold back from expressing emotions on my face. And it was just like so utterly hilarious and like charming as fuck and like absolutely perfect. Like, I can't believe, like, I honestly had the thought that I need to reread this series like every single year. I have a favorite book. It's not like actually my favorite book, because I can't possibly choose a favorite Talia Hibbert book, but it has an extremely special place in my heart, which is Damaged Goods, and that one I have reread 4 times now. But I need to reread this series every fucking year because, like, it is just, like, the best thing ever. It just makes me feel so alive. I'm so happy that I exist at the same time that Talia Hibbert writes books. And, like, I need a new one immediately, please, please. If you by any chance have not heard of this book, I'm going to tell you a little bit of what it's about, you know. So obviously it is an adult contemporary romance, and we have Chloe Brown and we have Redford, and he is the superintendent at Chloe's building, and they kind of have like slightly opposites attract and kind of hate to love, but not really. Like, they both like dislike each other, but also like are deeply attracted to each other, and like just there's so much fun, absolutely delightful tension between them, because it is kind of grumpy sunshine. Like, Chloe is absolutely grumpy. Red is kind of sunshine, not like a super sunshine, but like, you know, that direction, more like a golden retriever actually, because I see that in a different way than sunshine. So like the black cat golden retriever trope situation that people I feel like have been using quite a bit recently, absolutely this book. I adore them. But anyway, yeah, so they live at the same building, and they basically, like, you know, obviously run into each other all the time, and Chloe, like, tries to ignore him and everything, but then I'm actually not gonna describe the details, because, like, that scene is one of my favorite things ever. Something happens that, like, kind of, like, pushes them together a little bit more, and then basically Chloe ends up telling him, reluctantly, that she has this list to get a life, because she basically had a near-death experience at the beginning, and she, you know, her life flashed before her eyes, and she figured out that, like, she felt like she hadn't accomplished anything, and so she basically asks him for help because she sees him as someone like rebellious and reckless, and you know, someone who like doesn't think about things too much before doing them, and like all that stuff, and she feels like she's very uptight and doesn't experiment, and you know, she's been very much in her comfort zone for like many good reasons, but she wants to get out, and so it is perfection. We also have chronic illness representation, and I have heard a lot of people say that they like love the chronic illness representation. I am pretty sure that it is own voices. It also has like a lot of mental health themes, as every single book by Talia. It is just like the best thing in the universe. This series means everything to me, and they also all have black main characters, and a lot of them, I feel like for some reason I felt like this was also queer, but I'm not sure actually. I think that's just in my head. But at least the second book, Danny is bisexual, and third book, not entirely sure. That being said, this is perfect. I am having the best time. I, like, partially don't want it to be over, but I can't get enough, and I do think I'm gonna, like, fly through the rest now. But before I get back into this, I will be reading this book. So there is a chance I'm not gonna update you as I read it. We'll see how, like, you know, immersive it is, but I am so ready to dive in. I do think I want to watch, like, a Christmas movie. And oh my god, speaking of Christmas, I did not show you my nails that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I don't know if the lighting is spot on, but it is sparkly, it is red, it is a perfect red. I was scared about choosing the right red, because like I feel like a lot of people, including me, don't fully love the like bright red, and this is like bright but a little bit darker than the bright red. And I feel like it is the perfect Christmas color. It is like super festive, but it doesn't feel like super like too much, at least to me. Not much is too much for me, but like it is just right in my eyes, and I'm so happy.
I knew always thought that it would just feel right. I've been looking out for signs. I'm scared that I'm running out of time, trying to tell myself I'm fine. I'm waking up and I can't let go. I'm in my
Hi everyone. So I am slowly gonna go to bed because it is 12:30 a.m. But I had to talk to you before I like remove my makeup and whatever because I read the entirety of If You'll Have Me by Uni and oh my god. Thank God I bought this today. I adored every second. I was going to update you as I was reading it because I was just like, I'm loving it so much. But then I was just like, I could not stop. I could not stop. This is the cutest shit ever. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I adore the art. Again, like, the physical reading experience, like, how shiny the pages are, how beautiful the art is. Like, all the characters in this are so pretty. Like, the color schemes, everything is incredible. But the romance in this is the cutest shit ever, and I'm absolutely obsessed. We have our two main characters, Momo and PG, and they're both in college and kind of like in their proximity, but they kind of like know each other through friends, but not actually, you know, but through friends and through the school, they kind of like start running into each other all the time. And then they start becoming friends and it grows into more. And it kind of has like Momo is really shy and nervous, and she gets so shy around PG because she just finds her so pretty. And PG kind of has like a player reputation, and she just like has a lot of casual hookups and whatever. And so Momo feels like she's out of her league, and like it has that dynamic of like the inexperienced one and the like player one, whatever the fuck. And I actually think I mentioned that with The Good Girl by Nikki Sloan literally in this video, which when it's done well, it is absolutely wonderful, and this is just done incredibly well. I loved every second of it. It's absolutely wonderful. It is just like relatable and funny and sweet and just so cute. I was smiling so hard and rooting for them so much, and again, like, it's so beautiful to look at, and it's just like my favorite thing ever. And I need more books by this author, like right this second, and I immediately followed her on Instagram. Absolutely stunning. And I need more so bad. Like, this is literally one of my new favorite graphic novels. And it makes it even more special that, like, I have not read one in so long, and I'm so happy that I bought it. So look at me reading what I actually bought. So if you have any graphic novel recommendations, please let me know. So since it is very late, I do think I will go to sleep and I'll pick up Get a Life Chloe Brown in the morning. But I'm having the best time. Hi everyone, so I have a few updates. It is literally 12:26 a.m. I finished my reread of Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, and bro, I highlighted the shit out of this. I actually got into annotating like 2 years ago-ish, and since then, I was just kind of struggling to keep doing that because for some reason, the actual like tabbing and all of that feels extremely exhausting to me. And it just felt so time consuming that I was just like really struggling to do that even when I wanted to like annotate. And so what I do now is I highlight and I write in little notes or whatever, reactions. And like what I want is to have the notes and the highlights for maybe future rereads again, you know, but like it just works for me. So just wanted to point that out. If you maybe have been considering annotating but you feel like some people's process is a little bit too much for you, that is an option. But this book, obviously, I knew this is like one of my favorite romances, you know, my favorite author, like all of that. Like I knew it would be the most wonderful reread of my life, but I was not prepared. My memory could not possibly like remember the details of the perfection that this book is. The way that it's like so funny and so hot and just so charming and perfect, I cannot believe it. Like, again, I've read like basically almost every single book by Talia, but I know her style very, very well. I was not prepared for this. It was like the best thing in the universe, and I'm so happy that like I savored it for a few weeks, and I think I will try to hold back from reading Danny Brown until the new year. Because, like, honestly, starting the new year with this series would, like, it would be the best omen for the best year of my life. So, clearly, I can't really talk that much anymore. But, you know, again, the quote that yeah, it was in this video. The quote, if I loved you less, I could talk about it more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you have not read this series, pick it up because it is perfection. I did not remember how hot Red is. The dirty talk in this, like, I like, oh my gosh, like, holy shit, you know? I am normally, my type is dark hair, and he is ginger, but you know what? I could be convinced. I think I could be convinced. This is just the best thing on earth. And yeah, so then I have a little package that I already opened that actually, probably I think I bought last week. But this has a perfect reason that I'm going to explain in, you know, 1 second. And the book is this absolutely fucking gorgeous Sunback Beneath Unlikely Skies by Heba Hayek. And just look at that. I was so captivated by this cover, first of all, when I saw it. And I just also want to read you a little description that also caught my eye. Actually, it might be inside here. Yep. It's inside here. So, it says, tender yet brutal vignettes on a girlhood in Gaza, Palestine, filled with honey and warmth. So, I've been trying to find as many books by Palestinian authors as I could, and I ran into this, and again, like, that description just felt like so beautiful and like something I just absolutely wanted to read. I loved the fact that it's like the vignettes, so I don't actually know the definition of that, but it's, as I understand it, like short little like thoughts or stories that are basically like 2 pages or 3 pages, and it feels kind of like something in between a novel and a poem. You know, in my head, it feels kind of like in between, and I feel like it is just like an amazing writing format. And so, yeah, I did read just a tiny little bit, which was basically not even like the book itself. It was like a, I just read the author's note. But the author's note already was just like so well written, and like I will absolutely be reading this as soon as I can. I want to learn more about Palestinian history and everyone's stories, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. I just want to read more, and I want to support Palestinian authors. And yeah, and so I'm so happy to have this. Again, this cover feels like a poetry collection cover. And there's just something about it that I feel like is just so beautiful. I also love the title. I ordered it directly from the publisher, which I'd never done before in my life because I couldn't find it available at any of the places I normally buy from. It is also available on the Waterstones website, but the one that the publisher actually had free UK shipping, which I didn't expect because I didn't think it was a UK publisher, and honestly I'm not sure actually. I did need an audiobook again because I again, like with work, I can't really read physically after work, or I don't manage it that well, so I wanted to pick up an audiobook, and I recently found a book called No Land to Light On by Yaraz Geeb. And I already listened to like 35% yesterday, and I don't think I'll be able to listen to more tonight because it is, again, getting closer to like 1 a.m. But first of all, I loved this cover and the title. I immediately was just like, I need this book in my life. And I'll read you the little description. This breathtaking and evocative novel about a young Syrian couple in the throes of new love on the cusp of their bright future, when a travel ban rips them apart on the eve of their son's birth. It follows the 2 main characters, Hadi and Sama, and the 2 of them are, I think, like in their 20s, or just like they're a young couple. It's in 2 timelines where they met and fell in love, and the timeline that's like present day where they're separated and torn apart by a disgusting racist system. I read the 35%, and I already feel like so incredibly invested and connected. It is so deeply emotional and raw and like touching and heart-wrenching, and it is just like incredible so far. And it is definitely like a love story, but also just like a story about how horrible that it is to separate someone, not even if it wasn't a couple, like it is just like absolutely horrible. And at the same time though, this story, again, like the way that it's told in the two timelines, I feel like works perfectly, because we get all this like happiness, and the way that they fall in love is so beautiful and so cute. And they're planning this future together, and then they're torn apart. And so it is such a beautiful story so far. And like honestly, I just had to force myself to stop yesterday so that I had to sleep. But I think when I pick it up, I think I should pick it up tomorrow, because I feel like when I start it again, I will not stop. So that is my update on this, and I will go sleep. I just read a whole book, and you need to know about it. So also, I know I've been wearing this like in every other clip, but that is not gonna stop anytime soon, cause this is the warmest thing that I have, and it's really cold here. And yeah, so I mean, this week has been all over the place, and I am once again making too many videos at a time. Yesterday, basically, I started reading this beautiful book, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. I was basically reading a arc of a sapphic adult romance, which I might as well tell you what it was. It's called Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings, and I will have that in a vlog. But you know what? I actually might use this as an opportunity to ask you. I have quite a lot of arcs now that I've been like vlogging about, and a lot of them are actually coming out in like multiple months. There's something at the beginning of next year, but there's also like this book is coming out in April, and I have another that's also around that time, maybe even later. And I don't know what to do, because like it feels weird to read it and vlog it now when it's gonna, like when it's so far away, but at the same time, like I want to read it now, I don't want to wait. And so I've been thinking that I will just save it for that time, and I'll just like upload it at least like at the beginning of next year or something. So please let me know. I just love Maisie Eddings, and so I didn't really want to start this, even though it has like a different vibe and whatever. It is the same genre, and it's also a sapphic romance, and so I wanted to wait, and then I finished it, and so I was like, you know what, I actually am dying to read this. And so I picked it up, and yesterday I was reading so much of it that I was like, I'm literally not even gonna update you. And then I was gonna update you today before finishing it, but I was just like, you know what, my thoughts are not gonna change, and I just want to read. I don't need to talk. I just want to read. And it feels so good. I have not been reading a lot of physical books lately, and I really missed it, and I just needed that experience. And it was so cool because, like, I've said this before, I think, that I don't love reading when it's dark outside, because like the angles, the light, it's not always, I don't know, it annoys me sometimes, but I did not care. I just wanted to keep reading. Let's actually talk about this book. It is the last book in the series that I absolutely love. I highly recommend every single one of these books. It's definitely one of my favorite romance series, and I cannot wait for the next books by Ashley Herring Blake. And it's so cool because, like, I've read almost every single book by Ashley Herring Blake, not just this series. If you didn't know, she also writes middle grade contemporary sapphic books, and I've read all of those. I think there's 3 of them, and so it is so cool to like see the journey, because I started reading those before she started this series, and then I've been reading this series, and it's just wonderful. And it's so cool to see how different it obviously is, but there's also some patterns in how like emotional and raw it is, how real the characters feel, and like the mental health and all the sapphic representation. It is wonderful. And so we have Iris, and then we have Stevie, and Iris is bisexual, Stevie is a lesbian, and they basically are very different. Iris has been struggling to like settle down in any way because, you know, Iris Kelly doesn't date. She only has casual hookups and never goes further than that. She had 2 romantic relationships that just, you know, kind of ended up really hurting her in the end, and she feels like she is not good enough for a relationship ever again. And then we have Stevie, who has very bad anxiety, and she only had 1 long-term relationship, and she feels like she's never really had any casual hookups, and she feels like she sucks at it, but she feels like she should be good at it. And so they kind of meet and they like start flirting and whatever, and then they have like basically they try to hook up and it is just like a disaster. And then in the end, after that, they think they're never gonna see each other again, but then it turns out they randomly, you know, what a coincidence, they both want to take part in this like play, and they play a couple on screen. And there's like another layer to that where they make a deal that Iris is gonna help Stevie get more comfortable with just like the possibility, having more experiences, putting herself out there and all of that. And Stevie's gonna help Iris with like the romantic dates kind of situation, because Iris has been trying to write a romance novel and she's been struggling, and so it gives her ideas. And I hope that makes sense. It sounds kind of like chaotic, but it's definitely not. It is so well done. It is so fun. It is steamy. It is sweet. It's emotional. And oh my god, I related to so many parts of Stevie's experience. And I felt so seen. There was like one moment that I was like, I feel so called out. Like, this is horrible. But I absolutely loved this. I love their little group of friends. It's like found family. It's just incredible. And I love it so much. So highly recommend you read this entire series because it's just incredible. And I also desperately hope that the next book by Ashley Herring Blake is also going to be designed by Lenny Kaufman, because these covers are to die for. So I will shut up now. The book that I want to read tonight is not going to be for this video, so I think I'm just going to pick it back up on Monday, and I'm going to read a shit ton because that's when my days off begin, and I cannot wait to read more. Hi everyone, so it is time for an update. And this is gonna be kind of like a summary of what I've been doing, what I'm planning, because like I certainly kind of failed at doing this vlog. I've been doing too many things outside of it, of course, and I find it absolutely hilarious. I was editing this vlog yesterday and I think it's hilarious how the point of this is to clear your shelves, to read a lot, to, you know, not buy new books and read the books you already have. And while I actually did not, I think I only bought actually just 1 book in here, actually 2 with the graphic novel, because the other things were pre-ordered. I still basically spent the entire video hauling things. I am now actually on a book buying ban and I have not been buying anything, which I'm really proud of because like it hurts, but I do actually think it's really good for me to have this goal till the end of the year. The only thing that I will allow myself is like the end of year sales. If there's any good discounts, obviously I want to make the most of that, but I am here to talk to you about like some of the things that I kind of have planned, because I don't think I've finished anything that, well, I have been reading a lot. I have been working on a new color cover video, but I have also been just kind of reading whatever. And actually I do have at least one thing to tell you, because I didn't read it for a video and I thought when I was reading it, well, I'm not reading it for a video, but I forgot that I can actually mention it in here. And it works for one of the prompts that was something like just a fantasy book. And so I did actually read a fantasy book and I'm very happy about that, and I also really enjoyed it. So I just want to look at the prompts and kind of tell you what I have managed out of that. And then I do want to do one more vlog this month where I hopefully actually do read a lot more books. But the fantasy book that I read is called Unseelie by Ivelisse Hausman. And this is a duology. It is a YA fantasy and it follows 2 sisters, and there is the trope of like teaming up with kind of like your rivals and like random people that are in your way that you run into, but then you figure out that you have a common goal And it has, the main character, Celie, has really powerful magic, and she basically runs away from her family, from her small town, and her sister joins her because she's like, I'm not gonna abandon you. And so then they go on this like kind of quest with these new people, and so it kind of has found family and a little bit of a suggestion at a romance, but it does not turn into romance yet. It probably will in the second book, but it definitely is a book that does not focus on romance. It focuses on the sibling, on the sister relationship, the found family, and Celie's journey in accepting her magic and learning to take it as a part of her that is just like a beautiful part of her, not just something that she should be ashamed of. And it has really beautiful magical vibes, and it was just like such a fun time. I listened to the audiobook. It was a really quick read. I have not been able to read almost any fantasy books this year, and so I'm just really happy that I could read this. And that is definitely something I want to work on in the new year, and this definitely is a fantasy book that works for me and I really enjoyed. Because like it honestly, even though it has some slightly basic tropes, it feels fresh and unique anyways. It also has autistic representation within our main character, which is really wonderful to see in a fantasy setting. So it's not like named in the book, but the author is autistic and like talked about the representation in like a fantasy setting where she can't really name the word, but like, you know, it's obviously still a part of the character. And so I really enjoyed this book. I'm really happy that I read it. I gave it 4 stars, and I can't wait for the next book. I also absolutely love the cover so much. Like, I already loved the first one, but the second one I adore. So that is that. And technically I have actually done. I did read a super short book that's called Cinnamon and Golds by Lady Marie. So I think it's 100 pages, and this is like a steamy Thanksgiving romance novella thing. It is like super dramatic in the family dynamics. It's basically like the heroine gets together with her ex's cousin, and the two of them like hate each other, and the ex was a scumbag, and I really loved this. I love Lady Marie. Her books are super fun, fast-paced, steamy. They're also black love romances, if that's something that you're looking for. It is just absolutely amazing. I love her, and I read that. So that is a very short book. But if I want to stick to the like trying to read physical books, I want to do reread. So I actually took this out for a 24-hour readathon, but I did not manage to get to it there. But look how tiny this is. I think this is definitely the lightest book that I own. And so I want to reread it this month, and it is Surrender by Rosie Adams, another absolutely incredible author who writes amazing, steamy black love romances. And I absolutely love her. She has not had a new book in a while. I still have her older books that I can read again and again, and I have not reread this. I think I actually reread all the books that I got physically because I read them as ebooks. I have not reread this, and this literally is 50 pages. So if there's something that's gonna work well for that prompt, it is this. Then there is read a book with an aesthetically pleasing cover. I mean, I would have like so many options for that. I've definitely even like done that already. Like the Unseelie is super pretty. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna pick something for that right now. And yeah, okay, there's a lot more, so I don't think I'm gonna go through all of that. But I do want to mention some books that I want to get to in the next one and wrap this up. So I really want to finish Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I got to page 133. I ended up picking up the audiobook because I was just like not reading this for 1,000 years, and then I thought, you know what, I think this would be great on audio, and it is a really fun book. I'm not in love with it. I think it's gonna be like 3.5 or 4 stars, but it is a fun time. It is cute, and I think that like the rest of the book is gonna fly by. It is a little bit too long for my liking, but I still think that like once I pick up the audiobook, I could literally finish it in one day. I have like 2 hours left to listen to. The last thing I'm gonna mention now is that I want to read this. I also wanted to read this in the 24-hour readathon, but I did not get to it. It is quite short. It has like super tiny letters, but it is under 300 pages, and I have really enjoyed. I actually just read one book by Kayla Gross so far, but I really enjoyed that, and I think I'm gonna love this. It's like a rock star and bodyguard romance, and they also like knew each other when they were younger, and they're like estranged best friends. I don't know if they were together back then, but I really like the tropes. I love this cover and I definitely want to read that. So that is gonna be it for this video. I feel like it's a 1,000-year song, but I hope you enjoyed all the book hauls. And yeah, let me know what books you want to finish before the end of the year and if you have any plans. And if you made it this far in the video, leave a candle emoji down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!